Welcome back from the breakout rooms. I hope we're able to kind of I know that we didn't have, at least the rooms that I entered, we didn't seem to have a conversation or a discussion. We more had the facilitators share. So I think what I will do is to create room for discussion. Can we maybe have about 5 minutes for sharing what maybe key takeaways were from the cases, the two cases of Strathmore and Bahir?
Okay. In our case, Peter will present what we have in the breakout sections.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I can hear. Nanama, thank you very much, and Doc, thank you very much. I have to say that per my observation, the content presented was very good. I struggled a little bit to actually follow some of the things that my colleague presented, not by way of the content, but I think just the accent that I couldn't, follow. But I observed some of the challenges and discussions. I mean, challenges that he presented, and I think as an entrepreneurship lecturer and as an entrepreneur, I can relate to that. And I appreciated his answer to the question a colleague asked as to how they recruit students to enroll into the program through the various stages of the process. So,
Dr. Okati, I think we are not able to hear you, unless it's just me.
I can hear him.
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think, as I said, overall, the presentation was good. The contents were very clear. There were times that I couldn't follow, not because of the content, but I think it's just accent. But overall, the content was good. There was a question that was asked at the end as to how the university selects their students to incubate them and also
Thank you, Dr. Okante.
work with them.
From maybe Strath? Okay.
Hello, Ama. Hello?
Hello, I think we lost our moderator here for a moment. So we were trying to get some feedback from what you all learned in your various breakout rooms, and Mr. Okante was on the floor. So if you could
Yeah,
yeah, sorry about that. I think we lost her.
yeah,
on the
okay,
You can
okay,
kindly
yeah,
proceed with
definitely.
your,
Yeah,
submission.
so very good, thank you. So
My
as I was
pleasure.
saying, yeah, he listed a few challenges that they encountered. One of them was limited industry readiness, staff resistance, and adjustment to industry culture, and then solutions to ongoing mentorships. He also mentioned leadership expertise as gaps, leadership expertise gaps, and solutions targeted during training. He also mentioned that as part of the lessons learned, they designed structured faculty programs, aligned placements with industry. Yes. And I was saying that there was a question that was asked towards the end of his presentation about how they onboard students, taking them through the process, and eventually launching the business. And that one too, he walked us through it and explained how they recruit the students and have them do hackathons, and then eventually have pitches, and then they launch the business. Yes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Okante. Maybe we'll take one or two more other reflections from the breakout rooms. Any other reflections from the breakout rooms? Okay, all right. So just kind of tying this all together, would see that Bahida had some kind of strong emphasis on faculty development. They talked about the paid internship program that immerses lectures into industry settings. And what we saw also from Strathmore was, I would say, a somewhat multi-layered ecosystem that looked at pedagogy, which looked at partnerships with external organizations for funding, raising funding for students entrepreneurial programs and activities, etc. And the point of this or these were to illustrate that contexts differ, and there's so many different layers or so many different things that interconnect across an institution to kind of make up the ecosystem. So there's leadership that has to buy into certain activities, certain programs, initiatives. There's collaborations that have to happen. There's experiential learning that also has to happen, which makes all of these enablers of strong higher education institutional ecosystems. And so these are some of the points that we kind of wanted to highlight across these two cases. And now that we've seen how at least two institutions apply an ecosystems thinking or ecosystems lens within the entrepreneurial spaces within the institutions, I'd also want to take us to the next phase, I would say, of this session, which is exploring the entrepreneurial ecosystem tool in itself. So it's a demo of the tool, how you can practically, sign up to the tool, use the tool, and really get the best out of what the tool is supposed to enable you access. So before we do this, I'd like to share the Education Collaborative websites in the chat. And so that's, I guess, step one of the process is you get on the Education Collaborative websites. And once you're on the web page, allow me to share my screen so that we walk through this together. Okay, I believe you all are able to see my screen, which
Yes,
will,
please.
okay, great. Okay, so now once you're on the Education Collaborative website, you navigate to programs, resources, and tools, as you see on my screen. And then the first resource that you see, which is the Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Diagnostic Tool. Click on that. It will take you to the actual web page where there's also information. Some of the information which I shared at the beginning of the session is on here to kind of give you an. Sorry, Adra, were you saying something?
Oh, no, please.
Okay. So yes, as I was saying, once you are on the web page, you would see the information about the Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Diagnostic Tool. Feel free to read to understand and get a bit more understanding around what the tool does, which I explained, of course, earlier in the session. You navigate down to where it says diagnose your institution, click on there, and it leads you to another page. And now this is the page where you actually set up your accounts to access the tool. Now, once you're on this new web page, what you'd have to do, I understand that some of you may already have set up accounts before joining the session. So please feel free to log into your accounts if you've already done that. But for those of you who are going through this for the very first time, you'd, as is showing on my screen, go down, navigate down to create an account. Click create an account, and then you can enter your details from here. So your email, your password, you confirm your password and create an account. As the saying goes, it's as simple as ABC. Once you've created an account, you'd see the pop-up there that says that the respondent has successfully created an account and should have received further directions in their inbox. And so that is the inbox of the email inbox where you entered information. So now what you'd have to do is go into your inbox. You would see that you have validated accounts. Now tap on the link, which will take you to a new page where now your account would have been validated and you'd have access to the tool. Before we get to the next part of it, I just want to get feedback from everyone on here. If you are having any challenges, if this is, it's been successful so far. I just kind of want to get feedback before we move on to the next stage. Okay. Well, I guess I would take it as it's been successful so far. And so I'll take us back to the screen for the ecosystem diagnostic tool. Just from participants, has anyone been able to successfully create their accounts? Have you received the link? Have you been able to log into the actual accounts? It would be nice to hear from maybe one person or two people if you'd successfully been able to do that. Okay, I see working on it. So maybe I'll give 1 or 2 more minutes. So I'm not moving too fast and we're all able to successfully do this. Once you have set up your accounts and you validated via the link, when you're in the actual tool, what it's going to ask you to do is enter your information. And so you'd have to enter your details, such as your name, your institution, and some other information that it will request from you. I am showing this shortly. Like I said, once you've logged into the tool, there's certain information that the tool is going to immediately be asking of you. Your institution, your role at your institution, your position, year employed. That's in your profile section. And then for institutional section, the country of your institution, the year that it was established, the type of institution. There's also drop downs for each of these questions, which you can go ahead to select as applies to your particular institution or yourself. Is there a question?
Yes, so
Okay,
Alice
now
Mensah
it's okay.
says she has not received the link in her email. After you created the account, Alice?
Alice, is this after you created an account, the validation link you're supposed to be getting?
No, I'm here to create the account. I was having the connectivity challenge, so some of the things I didn't
Okay.
hear. I quickly checked my mail, but there's nothing in my mail.
Can you also check in your spam? So either your inbox, your direct inbox, or your junk folder, your spam, it could have accidentally gone there.
Okay.
For me,
And for anyone else who may not have received it in their direct inbox, please do check your spam, your junk folder. It's may have gone there as well.
in my case, I don't have the list of universities in the top-down selection.
Yes. So if you don't have your institution in the drop down, go all the way to the bottom and you'd see other. And in that other section or that other selection, you select other and it allows you to actually enter the name of your
Okay,
institution. Yes.
interesting. It works.
Okay. Okay, I'll give a bit of, before I move on to the next part, which is a quick assessment, I'll give a bit of time to respond to any questions around this sign-up process or login process. Any questions, comments,
please.
challenges? Yeah.
Yes, please. It's not in my spam. I've
You
not
don't,
gotten the message. I don't have it in my spam as well.
but you have set up your account. You've entered, you've gone on the tool, the link to the tool, and have created the accounts.
No, please. I said around that I had an internet challenge, so I wasn't
okay.
hearing you.
Okay. So let me share the link to, I'm just sharing the link in the chat.
Yes, Madam, please have placed it in the chat as well as
Okay,
the
great.
steps to
Okay,
navigate
great.
the diagnostic.
Let me also add that on the actual webpage of the actual Education Collaborative webpage for the Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Diagnostic Tool, there's a few resources to support in this process. And one of it is the frequently asked questions, as well as the as a guide, as a manual to the tool. So you can, after the session, please, you can go through the FAQs to support whatever questions you would have, or you can also download the manual, the guide, go through that, and that hopefully can also respond to any questions that you have or any challenges that you face outside of the session. Thank you, Adjoa, for the link. Any other questions, challenges, issues so far before we go ahead to the next step? Okay. Then I believe we will go ahead now. Once you've entered your information, which is your personal information, your profile information, as well as your institution's information, what you can do now is go on your dashboard. In the dashboard, you see two sections. There's collaborators and assessments. What the collaborators section allows you to do is add on additional individuals from your institution to support in completing the diagnostic. And so perhaps it's a team of, individuals in an institution who run different programs or run different activities related to entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial activities, entrepreneurial developments. And so you'd want to include them in this process, in this process of completing the diagnostic tool. The collaborator section allows you to do that. You can invite collaborators, as you see on my screen. You enter their email, their position, the year they were employed, their role, and invite. Once you click invite there, what it does is that the individuals will receive the notification in their inbox, and they will also be able to access your account. So the account is not a personal account. Please take note, it's an institutional account. And what that means is that it's an individual that sets up the account for an institution. And so once you add collaborators are also added to your institution's accounts on the platform. Okay. So that's it for collaborators. Now we'll do a quick assessment. We'll run through the quick assessment section of the diagnostic. What the quick assessment is like the name says, a quick assessment. So the 360 diagnostic is an actual full-on diagnostic, which is very detailed. So questions are very detailed. Output is also very detailed. Once you've completed the questions, you receive a report that's is a reflection, like I said in the beginning, of your institution's, where your institution currently is at, where its entrepreneurial ecosystem is concerned. Now, the quick assessment is a quick assessment. And so in this section, what you do is you are able to select your institution's goals when it comes to entrepreneurial development. If you've been able to set up your accounts and you don't have any challenges in that, you can go through this stage with me. So on the quick assessment section, tap on Start Quick Assessments. And now you'll be able to select, like I said, your institution's entrepreneurial goals, what your institution strategically aims to achieve or is looking at, the direction your institution wants to take when it comes to entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial development. So the options here are entrepreneurial employees, which emphasizes professional development by fostering engagement and providing opportunities that enhance employability skills, contributing to the growth and sustainability of your institution's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Another goal can be research, development, and innovation. So these are some of the ones that we saw in the cases that were shared earlier, where this goal focuses on developing publications and bibliometric to promote innovative ideas and best practices, driving both direct and indirect economic benefits for higher education institutions. There's also the goal of impacting indigenous community, where it emphasizes resource-driven collaboration between institution and the indigenous communities to foster entrepreneurship and drive community development. Another goal for your institution can be national or continental, where this is highlighting your institution's capacity to shape policy development through collaborative efforts at the continental and national levels with a focus on entrepreneurship. Another goal for your institution can be the entrepreneurial mindset. And so this is more curriculum, as we saw in some of the cases. And this goal focuses on the holistic development of entrepreneurial skills, attitudes, and emotions in students, graduates, and faculty members within your institution. And then finally, a goal on startups, where this focuses on providing structural supports for students and graduates to launch businesses, leveraging insights and research gained from your institution's experience. This also we saw in some of the cases that were shared. So please, in this quick assessment section, you would select what goals your institution aims to achieve. It can be nurturing startups, entrepreneurial mindsets. Also, maybe your institution wants to drive policy, drive national conversations around entrepreneurship. That can be another goal. And then on research, development, and innovation. Once you selected your goal, you tap on Generate Reports, which is at the bottom right corner of the page. And voila, it generates the reports. What you have to do is get on the dashboard, as you see here, view assessments. Again, in the quick assessment section, view assessments, and navigate to the date. So today's date, October 30th, and then you view that assessment. And so like you see, this generates a really high level snapshot, I would say, of kind of a diagnostic for your institution. This is very different from the 360 assessments. Like I explained initially, the 360 assessment is more detailed, more comprehensive, involves multiple individuals within an institution. We highly recommend that to take that 360 assessment. Now, this quick assessment is based on the goals that you selected in the quick assessment section. And after this, you are able to get a high-level snapshots of the recommended enablers. Now, the enablers are the resources, the capital, the infrastructure that can be provided internally and externally by different stakeholders to support your institution in achieving the aspiration that you selected. And so it gives different enablers, various enablers. Now, this is not it's very high level, so it doesn't provide a lot of detail on how this is done. But on a high level, you are able to see what the enablers, what the recommended enablers are. So it means that for institution, it means collaborating with other higher education institutions, external collaborations, financial capital, etc., human capital, as recommended enablers for your institution to achieve the goals that you selected in the quick assessments. Now, the recommended activities will be the actual activities or the actual steps and different programs, initiatives, etc., that need to be implemented or executed to get your institution to the goals that you had selected. And so here you'd see advocacy and engagement, entrepreneurial orientation, extracurricular activities, incubation and startup support, etc. Now, all of these are the recommended activities to get your institution to the goals that you had selected in the quick assessments. And then at the bottom section, you'd see that now we're saying that to fully understand your institution's current standing and make accurate inferences from these shared recommendations, you need to complete the 360 assessments. You're also able to download the reports and go through at your institution's level and then take the 360 assessments like I earlier shared. Now I'll pause here, but I also allow you to ask questions if there are any, if as you went through this, you had any challenges or if there are any particular questions that you have, please feel free to also ask. For any institutions that are not able to activate your accounts, what I would say is, like I shared in the beginning, one, please refer to your junk or spam for that email. However, if after, say, an hour after the session, you have not received that email, which I think will be highly unlikely, please do send an email to the Education Collaborative. Adra, can you type in the email
Yes.
here?
So I shared the support email. So
Okay.
support.educollab@ashesi.edu. I've placed it in the chat. I think I have a question that might be maybe relevant for some institutions. If there are maybe multiple people in the entrepreneurship department who sign on to the tool, is it one sign on per institution, or are they able to sign on, say 2 or 3 people able to sign on from the same institution?
So it's an institutional account, and what happens is that sorry, Adra, thank you for your question. It's an institutional account, like I said, and once you add collaborators, it kind of merges it as one institutional account, so that different individuals will have their separate logins, but once they've logged into the system, because it's one institution, for the quick assessments, it'll be they get to see the same thing. And for the 360 assessments, it's the same thing that they'll all be completing, or they'll all be working towards. I hope that makes sense.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions? Feedback from the process so far?
Maybe one question.
Please go ahead, Dr. Kasau.
I generate the report and I have seen that most of the report is filled. Does it have like AI enabled decision maker where this report is generated? We just select some of the points and it brings with a structured report.
Yes, so you select, as I said, you select your institution's goals,
for
the
instance,
different goals that your institution.
For instance, in my cases, I take all the points that was asked at the beginning, and it generate a structured report which have some
Yes.
detail
Yes.
points where how these detail points are generated. Does it have a decision making AI based or some decision
Yes.
making tools that analyze these questions, or what? How?
Yes, I get your question. My apologies. Yes, so the diagnostic tool is actually based on an extensive research that was conducted by a team from the Education Collaborative and some external consultants. So this research that I referred to is also on the Education Collaborative's the EED page, basically the page where you see diagnose your institution. The research report is there, and that forms the framework for the framework that the tool is built on, I would say. I hope this answers your question. This is on the website, on the same web page, and so you can feel free to take a look at it, read it to kind of get in-depth understanding on that framework as well.
Okay, good.
All right, I will. Any questions, comments on the tool so far? I just want to add here that number one, if you have your institution has any peculiar challenges in the process of signing up, you can refer to a number of things, the frequently asked questions, the how-to guide, which you can download and go through, and then also feel free to send an email to the support email address that was put in the chat. So that's one. A second thing is that as Adjoa will be sharing later on, we would hold a few, there'll be a few, I'd say, demo sessions. We'll put that information out. Institutions can feel free to sign up for one or more, hopefully. No, you don't need more, but at least one demo session to kind of support you in the next steps for this. Adjoa, I will hand over back to you now.
Right. Thank you very much, Nanama, and thank you all. I truly hope that we were able to learn from the breakout rooms some of the reference points in terms of entrepreneurship ecosystems that we could glean from, that is from Bahir Dar and Strathmore. The Education Collaborative has a document on a few EED cases that people can refer to for their own institutions. So I'd be sure to share that, as well as the link to the EED tool itself. As Nanama mentioned, if you were having any challenges, you may email support.educollab@ashesi.edu.gh, and I have placed that in the chat, and we will be happy to assist you and to get you up and running on the tool. We would now love to take a photo to document this session that we've had today. So I kindly ask that we turn on our cameras, we show those smiles, and then we just take a quick photo to memorialize the session. And I'll count us down once I see a few cameras. Great, it's lovely to see all the faces. I think I'll wait for maybe 30 more seconds to see if we get a few more faces showing. All right, so I will count us down. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, we'll do one more. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you all so much. It's great to see the faces behind on the other side of the screen. So thank you all for sharing. We have our Southern African Hub convening coming up in January of 2026. It is a convening of higher education professionals, and it's a great place to share, to learn, and to collaborate as we work to improve higher education outcomes across the continent. So I am placing the registration link in the chat. If you are interested or your institution is, you are welcome to join us in January of 2026. In the same breath, we also have the West African Hub convening coming up as well in March of 2026. So there are several exciting things happening at the collaborative in the new year. I have also shared that link in the chat if you would like to read more about it and prepare accordingly. Thank you all so much. I am also sharing the EED tool, the link to the EED tool that we went through today. If you'd like to take some time to look through it at your earliest convenience, or maybe just show it to individuals in your institution that you find it may be helpful for your ecosystem. And finally, I kindly ask that we take about a minute or two as we are still on the call to fill out the evaluation form. And there's a final poll that will run here in just a moment so that you can give us more feedback on how relevant or helpful this session was to you. I kindly ask that we are intentional about filling out the form because it helps us improve our service delivery and also learn how to navigate delivering these community of practice sessions to you all. So we have our last poll running currently. I entreat us to please take it in the next minute or so. All right, I see we have just about 36% filled out. I'll give us 20 more seconds. All right, thank you all very much for joining us for today's session. I would share the relevance details, as Anama mentioned, the link to the EED tool. So Madam Chinwepi says, the tool is not AI-based, the outcomes are computed using real values and not speculative. Yes, thank you so much for that. And the tool is meant for everyone, irrespective of your level. It's quite easy to navigate, so thank you for sharing. So I'll share the relevant details after this session, and then also if you are interested in joining any of our communities of practice, that will also be in the email after this session. Thank you so much, and thank you to our speakers, Dr. Kasol and Dr. Murithi, and also to Nanama for moderating this session. We hope you have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend as well. Thank you so much from the Education Collaborative. Do enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.